Hello. All right, today is April 14th, 2020. I didn't have anybody lose a tooth that told me about it, so we're going to keep that there. And we have been in school for 143 days. That is so many days. We are almost to 150. That's so cool, huh? All right. So, I have some of these cool Legos. Do you guys like Legos? I like Legos. So I found these Legos that help us with math. So this says 5 plus 3 equals. Hey, we've been doing a lot of these problems, huh? Okay, I'm going to say, oh man, you can't see that. Okay, so I'm going to use some blocks to help us with some math. So I'm going to put 5 of these Lego pieces. See this Lego piece? There's 2 of them right here. I'm going to put 5 on top of where it says 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 pieces here on top of the 5. So how many pieces do I need right here? I need 3, huh? All right, I already have all 3 of them stuck together. Let's count them and make sure. So there's 1, 2, 3. So 5 plus 3 equals, we want to know how many are all together. So we're going to count all of the Legos here and see how many there are. Okay, can you guys help me count? It's kind of hard to see, huh? Okay, maybe, there you go. You can see like that a little bit better. Okay, help me count. I'm ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. I'm going to write that right here on my blocks. These are the coolest Legos I've ever seen. Not really, there's some really cool Legos out there, but these are some pretty cool Legos. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. So that's what addition problems look like with Legos. We can also do subtraction. So I have this one right here. So I know this is a subtraction problem because it has a subtraction sign right there. This says 9 minus 2 equals, so this one's going to look a little bit different. So I have 9 pieces of Legos here. Should we count and make sure? Because sometimes Mrs. K makes mistakes. Okay, let's count them together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to put the 9 right on top of the 9. So we have 9 minus how many? 2. So I need to take 2 away. So I'm going to take 2 right off the top. See how I took 2 away? And I'm going to just set it over here on this side. So 9 minus 2, now we just need to see how many are left. Let's count them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 minus 2 equals 7. I'm going to write it right here on my blocks. I bought these so you guys could play with them at school, but since we can't play them at school, I'll just play with them at my house. Okay, so 9 minus 2 equals 7. Awesome. I thought that was kind of a fun way to see addition and subtraction problems using Legos. It's pretty awesome. Okay, friends. So in science, we have been talking about recycling. Remember this word? Recycle? So yesterday you answered some questions on Flipgrid for me, and you were answering questions about why we need to keep the land, air, and water clean. You guys had some really great ideas. So I wanted to show you one of my books. So this book is kind of long. We're not going to read all of it, but I just wanted you to think about why some of these animals, it's important for them to have clean air, land, and water. So we're just going to look at a couple of the pictures. We're not really going to read it. So let's see. I wanted to start with this one. So this one is a blue whale. Why do you think it's important for a blue whale to have clean water? What do you think? A whale needs clean water because it doesn't want to swim in icky water, huh? Imagine if there was trash all over and maybe the whale accidentally sucked in an old garbage bag. Do you think that would be very good for the whale? No. Why do you think, polar bears live in the water and on land? Why do you think that it's important for a polar bear to have clean water? Probably the same reason as a whale, huh? Also, polar bears, they eat fish. And what if a fish had something stuck on it that was some garbage? Do you think the polar bear would want to eat a fish with garbage on it? No, that'd be so gross. Okay, this one, here's some orangutans. Why do you think that it's important for orangutans to have clean land? They probably need clean land so that they can swing in the trees, huh? What if there was garbage hanging from the trees? They might bump their head into a garbage. Or maybe they'd be swinging and a garbage bag would hit them in the head and it would cover up their head and they couldn't see where they were going. That'd be crazy, huh? And then everything on the world uses air in some way. But why would these tigers need clean air? They need to be able to breathe in clean air, huh? We wouldn't want our tigers to be coughing because they had too much icky air, huh? All right, so this book reminds us that animals need clean air, water, and land just like us. All right, I'm going to read this story to you. This book is called How Many Stars Are in the Sky? So when I'm reading you this story, I want you thinking about why it's important to have clean air in this story, okay? I bet maybe you have an idea right now. All right, let's read our story and see. I've actually never read this story before. It's one in school that we usually don't have time for, so I'm glad that we get to read it. Okay. How many stars are in the sky? Mama was away that night and I couldn't sleep. Mama knows all about the sun and stars, but she was away and I didn't want to wake Daddy. So I stared out the window, asking myself, how many stars are in the sky? How many stars do you think are in the sky? Do you know? Does your mom or dad know? Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm trying to get a better position to show you. There you go. Okay, I could count so many just from my room. I leaned out the window and I could count even more. That was just gazing over the backyard. How many stars in the sky? I went outside with a pad and pencil. I started to count. I filled up one whole page of the pad, but there were lots of stars hidden behind the trees. The house blocked out even more. The street lamp was so bright, I couldn't see stars anywhere near it. How many stars in the sky? So he's having a hard time counting. Why is he having a hard time counting the stars? It's because things are blocking it out, huh? He can't see through the trees or through the buildings. I climbed high up into my tree house. I stared at the Big Dipper and counted in a great circle all around the sky. I filled up page after page of the pad, but when I got back to the Dipper, it wasn't where I remembered it. I must have been out so long that the stars had moved. Old ones had set, new ones had risen. How many stars in the sky? Oh my goodness. So he was counting the stars and he noticed that the stars were moving. Have you ever noticed that the stars move in the sky? Oh my goodness. So he's having an even harder time now because the world is moving and the stars are moving. What in the world? Sorry, I'm going to try to fix my camera really quick. Okay, it's a little bit better. I climbed down from the treehouse and there was Daddy. I couldn't sleep, I said. I can't sleep either, he said. Your mama won't be back till tomorrow. I told him how I wanted to count all the stars in the sky. If your mama was here, Daddy said, I bet she'd know. Maybe you and I can find some place where it'll be easier to count them. My dog hopped into the truck with us and he drove into town. The streets were quiet, but lots of streetlights were burning. We could see the bright city skyline in the distance. So they're kind of having a hard time seeing some stars because all these lights are so bright that it's hard to see. Have you ever noticed that? It's harder to see the stars when we are by bright lights. Daddy and I counted 25 or 26 stars. He said he thought that one of them was the planet Jupiter. This isn't a good place to see stars, I said. It's not a bad place to count them, though, he said, but it's still too hard. Let's go where it'll be really easy. Can you think of a place that would be really easy to count stars? We drove into the city. The big clock by the tunnel said 2:45, but neither one of us felt like sleeping. We parked by Mama's office. There was a department store with brightly lit displays in every window. There were street lamps on every corner. There were dazzling neon signs. Headlights flashed from a steady stream of cars. Powerful searchlights beamed from the roofs of the skyscrapers. Do you think that there's Too many lights in here? Probably, huh? There's a lot of lights. It's probably hard to see the stars. Do you see any stars in the sky? I don't see any. It's too hard to see them. And I couldn't see any stars at all. I count exactly 1, said Daddy. No, wait, he said. It's an airplane. Maybe the stars just don't want to be counted, I said. Do you see the 1 star he sees? That's actually an airplane. There weren't any cars. There weren't any streetlights. There weren't any houses. Even the moon had set, and I knew we could never count all the stars. No matter where I looked, new ones appeared. Every time I blinked my eyes, Daddy pointed up above and showed me the Milky Way. The stars were so thick, I couldn't tell one from another. We were much too tired to drive anymore, so we slept underneath the stars that night. That looks so nice and comfy, huh? It was daylight when we woke. Daddy, I said, all those stars are always out there, even when we can't see them, right? Of course they are, he said. Can we try to count them again sometime, I asked. Any night you feel like it, he said. You and me and Mama can all go out together. I could hardly wait to see Mama and tell her about it. In a little while, we'd all be back home, but now I was glad just to be standing there with Daddy, basking in the warmth of this one